Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through how I created my Make It Camp DreamSnap submission. And this week is actually an outfit challenge. It says it's time to get campy, literally dress yourself for a hike in the Forests of Valor or a night under the stars on the sunlit plateau. Bring your unique fashion sense to a cozy, comfy look for time outdoors with Valley Pals. And this is the look that I came up with. So let's take a look at it a little bit closer. So I knew immediately that I wanted to utilize the Wilderness Explorer backpack and hat if they met the tags. And thankfully they did this week. So we have playful, familiar, and casual as the main tags. And then back can only be used once for like a backpack. So let's take a look at the backpack. So this one fits all 4 tags, and I knew that I wanted to base my whole entire outfit around this kind of color scheme. The hat actually also fits as high a tags as it could because again we can only use back once. So for the everything else, 3 tags will be max tags. So this is a max tag option. And then for my outfit, I wasn't quite sure what top I wanted to wear. So I went into coats to see what options were available. And because I knew I wanted to max out my tags as much as possible, I didn't want something that was long sleeve that covered up my wrist because I wanted to utilize a watch. So every other option in here for max tag for the coats was gonna prevent me from wearing a bracelet. So the only one that I had left over, which thankfully kind of fit the color vibe of what I was going for, was the Enchanted Rose Varsity jacket. And then from there, I went into tops and tried to find something to coordinate with those colors. So I went with the Radiant Tea because I felt like it tied in with the color scheme that I was going for. Let's see. Next, I wanted to figure out what type of bottoms I was going to wear. For pants, none of these kind of fit the vibe that I wanted. And if I'm going to wear shorts, I'm probably going to layer it with a skirt on top. So for shorts, I went with the black jean shorts. And then layered on top of it another outfit item. So this skirt here is not max tag. However, I knew I wanted to layer as many tags as I could. So I went through and found something that fit. Okay, so this is a 2 tag option, red jean skirt, and I like that it pulls in more of the red throughout. And then for my shoes, I went with the brown lace-up boots. And I know these socks are not max tag, but let's take a look. They are 2 tags, so familiar and casual. I went with the white knee-high socks because it just felt very like, I don't know. I can't think of the word, like not geeky, but like very like goody two shoes, like Girl Scout vibes to have the knee-high socks there. So we went with that. And to kind of lean into that aesthetic, I wanted to wear glasses. Max tag would have been some sort of sunglasses, but again, I don't usually like to hide my eyes. So I went with this 2 tag option with familiar and playful for the wireframe glasses, which again kind of fits the aesthetic of what I was going for. Next we have on some rings. So I went with the assorted gold rings. And for my bracelet, I went for the gold French watch. Again, trying to pull the blue and the red and the like yellow vibe throughout. And for my earrings, these were not max tag option. but we were able to, let's see here, find a 2 tag option with playful and casual for these blue earrings. Again, just playing off of the colors I was going for in my outfit. Let's see here. For neckwear, I have on the new birding top binoculars from the end of summer event, which is a max tag option for this week. So I incorporated that and then also layered a necklace with it as well. So I have the green dog tags, which is playful and familiar, layered with it as well. And that is everything for my outfit. So my total tags ended up being, oops, let's grab out our camera. Ended up being 12 out of 13 playful, 13 out of 2 familiar, 1 back, and 12 casual. So I absolutely love the way that this outfit turned out. I was kind of weary that I was going to be able to find an outfit that I liked without it being chaotic, but the colors on this really vibe together, and I love that we were able to get that wilderness explorer vibe in the outfit. So let's go ahead and transition over to the build because this wasn't something that I already had created this week. I had to start from scratch and I tried looking at multiple areas in my valley and ended up going over to Eternity Isle in the Oasis and creating a whole camp scene over there, which I think turned out really great. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so the first thing I did was kind of move some of these trees around to make space. I knew that I wanted to incorporate the new like A-line camp lodge situation. I don't remember the exact name of this, but I wanted to incorporate or try to incorporate 2 of them up here on the top just to give some depth to the photo. So at first I'm starting out playing with just having one, and then I thought it would be really nice to have one kind of tilted to the side so that you could see the string lights. So I incorporate using the house itself and then changing my main house to also be that house as well so that I could double up on having 2 of these camping lodges up here. So I move things around and end up deciding that I want to um, have them angled that way. So I just kind of move the trees around until I figure out the placement that I want because I want the main house to be kind of centered and the other one to be to the side. So that's what we did there. And here I'm just checking to make sure that I'm like aligning everything appropriately. I don't want the back of me to be too cluttered to where you can't see the houses up there. So I'm just trying to figure out the angle and where I want to build the rest of the build off of. So from there, I'm just brightening up the shot so that I have a clear view of what I'm doing. And then I'm just moving things around to try to start creating the base for this DreamSnap. And that looks like the angle that I want. I wanted to include the um, waterfall as well. And then the new items that we got from the end of summer camping event. So I have the bonfire along with the cooler and 2 of the little chairs around here as well. And I'm just kind of situating these appropriately that I didn't want to completely cover the bonfire or the chair. And so that I'm just kind of fussing with it until none of the elements are kind of overlapping too much. And end up with this one here, and that's kind of where I build off from. So I wanted to include obviously visual interest down at the bottom as well. Submitting it like that would have been too plain. We recently got this item from a marketplace bundle in the premium shop, and I thought that it would be a cute addition to add some visual interest, as if we were like just washed these items and hung them out on a line to dry. And then I brought in a like temporary camping tent and then a rustic water pump here to start to aid in, like, this is a little campground down here. And then from here I am going in and putting down some flooring because I wanted to break up the greenery. So I incorporated this as just, again, this is a campground and it has some leaf strewn path here, and I absolutely think that this is a game changer, and adding just even a little bit of pathing here. If it was left all green, I don't think that it would have had the same vibe and aesthetic as it does now. So just playing with the different elements is huge. And then at the end, I completely changed the time of day and it changes the entire look and feel of the photo. So definitely just playing with the different elements, checking what angle you're working with, and trying to just continuously go back and look at it from a fresh perspective is going to be super helpful when it comes to DreamSnaps. There is one little thing, and I'll kind of point it out when we get there, that I am kind of on the fence about, but at the same time, I don't really want to invest any more time or energy into the DreamSnap. So at some point, I just kind of send it instead of like making it quote unquote perfect, because at this point, like, I have other stuff I need to do. I can't just be sitting around doing a DreamSnap. So this was incredibly frustrating. I was trying to place down this cactus and it continuously did not want to lock in place, and I was struggling there a little bit. Same thing here. It just was glitching back and forth, but we were able to get it to situate. And I'm happy that I kind of leaned into the cacti vibe. I think it adds a little something to this photo. We end up switching out this third one here for a different color one. We have the tinted one that has a little bit of orange in it. And then in the foreground, I opt for the planters that we have that have different cacti in it. And I think that really brings a little something to it because it gives a little different of a texture as well. And so I'm just fussing with the underbrush here, just trying to figure out the placement. I want to include some different elements and I want to have some different textures to give it some visual interest, and I incorporate some rocks in here as well. Just again, trying to break up the monotony of all the green that is on the ground, basically. And even though you never can kind of know what all is going to be seen in your photo, so I try to build out my builds fully, so that even if I were to end up with an angle that has um, these elements showing, that it doesn't look weird, or that this is like, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but that this isn't like a random build that I created in the middle of nowhere, but that it kind of is fitting in and is something that kind of lives here, that it's meant to be here. So this is really getting close to what I wanted it to be. I'm gonna make some kind of finishing touches to it. But for the most part, this is the basis of what I was wanting to do. I do go ahead and remove that aloe from back there because, again, it just kind of looks off with it being the only one. And want to kind of clean up the area a little bit. From here, I do spend a lot of time which I cut out for this video for you. But I do spend a lot of time with the water lilies that we got from the recent star path and putting those down in the water behind me. You do see a few of them peeking through, um, but not many. But again, it's one of those things where I'd rather have it fully decorated than to have some weird sparseness. We also incorporate a lot of the fireflies, which I need to remind myself that I need to wait till the end to do that because they constantly get in the way when you're trying to edit a video, or not edit a video, create a dream snap, because you can't really maneuver things down there very well. So I'm adding in these planks for some visual interest and breaking up the leaf strewn path. And at this point, I have down a bunch of the lotuses along with a little canoe in the water there. I've put the canoe club sign up top, which you can't super notice, but I thought that that was a nice kind of nod to the canoe in the water. I also incorporated the cacti in the front foreground, and I'm playing with different things next to the cooler and end up scrapping the idea entirely. And we do include some little um, additions as well, like this LeFou statue near the hammock. I end up grabbing the Moana coconuts to place near there as well. This little camera that I end up putting near the cooler. We also incorporate some of these energy drink cans. Since the cooler has energy drinks in it, I put some of those near one of the chairs as well. And just playing with different items. We have a little water bucket near the water pump as well, just because I think that it looks nice and kind of fits the aesthetic there. We end up switching out this little basket here for the egg basket because it feels picnicky and campy to me. We put the outhouses up top. Again, these are elements that you don't see really in the photo, but I figured that I would have it up there just in case they were visible. But unfortunately, you can't see the elements that I really put up there other than the houses and a little bit of the canoe club sign. And we do have a little boat in the water as well, like the fan looking paper boat, which again doesn't really read through. Tried incorporating this little bicycle in, but it was overshadowing the items behind it, so I ended up removing that. And in the photo, you can't really see these cacti in the foreground, so I ended up pulling that forward as well, so that you can see a little glimpse of the cactus in the foreground also. And another little element that you probably won't be able to tell is the little fishing trap in the water as well. I knew I wanted to bring a villager over here. I ended up grabbing Goofy and having him fishing in the background, so um, that really kind of fit the vibe there. And I'm just taking a pass-through look at the outdoor tags, trying to figure out if there was anything else that I wanted to include. I will say that I did remove some of the fireflies because I felt like it was a little overpowering. In the photo, I did add some up near the houses, which isn't super visible, but I liked the little touch that it gave. And then we included some tiki torches around the area here as well, along with some reeds in the water, which I went for the Sunlit Plateau reeds because they're more muted than that bright green. And I'm just placing these kind of spaced throughout, and you do see some of it peeking through in the photo, but again, it's one of those things where I'd rather build it out completely than to leave it as, oh, you won't see it, and then potentially see it in the photo. So that's what I'm working on here, fussing with the water for the millionth time on something that you can't really tell in the photo. Classic. But honestly, this might be the area that I keep my campground at. I really love the way that this turned out. Um, so here I'm still trying to make this bicycle work, but it's not working. I didn't want to cover LeFou, so I ended up removing it entirely. I try to put it up here, but again, the rocks block those little small details, so they're not really visible when you get into the shot. But I do pull these forward so that they are more visible. And I love that you can see the various cacti, the round cacti and the kind of, I don't know what version of the cacti is. So it has the sorrow, which isn't really visible, and then it has the more like oval shaped lighter green ones as well, and those kind of are peeking through. I think I do pull them forward a tad more, or change. Actually, I changed where I'm kind of standing, so that you can see more of that in the foreground. And then I also extend out the pathing to the side, and this is where I'm kind of like meh about it, because over here, to the right of where those planks are, where I'm standing, it feels a little bare, but at the same time, we're camping, so it's not personally not meant to be completely um, filled out to the brim type of thing. So I'm okay that there's some emptiness there, but I know some people really like to see full over the top builds, but I just don't feel like it's always needed. And I have done very well on some dream snaps where they're just very simple. So I ended up just going ahead and leaving that blank space near me. I didn't want to take away from what was already there. So we left it as is. And I did incorporate three of these little round cacti as well. And I thought that they were a good little touch in these little clusters of um, plants and underbrush that I had going on here. And I tried to incorporate like a table with some of the s'mores items on it, but I ended up switching it out and just putting it near the chairs on the floor, which, isn't the most sanitary thing in the world, but at the same time, I think aesthetically it just looks better than having the table in this specific Dream Snaps. I've seen other people have tables in theirs and it looks great, or camping tables, but I think that this looks better for my build. So I was going to wear those headphones originally, but I did, while I was recording this, unlock the binoculars, which gives one extra tag. So I ended up keeping those and changing the time of day to night. And this is what we ended up getting. We got Goofy kind of pulling back on the rail. We have our little monkey companion, and we're both waving at the camera. And I think that it looks amazing. So this is the end photo that we ended up submitting. And then let's go ahead and take a look at it a little bit closer. So this is what it would look like during voting. I like to always take a look at this view because it is smaller, to just see, does it pop out? Does it read? Because a lot of people don't actually zoom into the photos to see the details. So as detailed as your picture might be, it's important to look at it from this kind of zoomed out perspective where it's a little smaller, just to see, does it Does it eye catch? Is it eye catching? And is it bright enough, etc.? And then looking at the zoomed in version, I love this like night shot with Goofy and I at the campgrounds, and I think that it turned out great. Even with that kind of sparseness to my right, I think that it works with the campground. So I hope that you enjoyed this process video. I can't wait to see what everybody came up with, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.